Module 4, Lesson 6, the order of operations. So first we're just going to go over an easy way to remember the order of operations. We're going to go over some examples, and then we're going to start the lesson for order of operations. So one thing that's nice to remember, and I'll make this a little larger so that you can see, a good way to think about when you have an equation or an expression to solve and you have a lot of different operations within it, you want to first start with any parentheses that are in the equation or expression. Then exponents, which is what we learned in our last lesson, lesson 5, multiplication, then division, then addition, then subtraction. You may have heard this called PEMDAS. That's kind of a short acronym, I guess you could say, for it. But what it means is the order that you want to solve the equation or expression in parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So next we have some examples of PEMDAS. So write the word examples, and then we're going to do a couple different examples. So first of all, if we have 12 plus 6 times 7. So this is just a simple expression where you have addition and multiplication. 12 plus 6 times 7. So we're going to do one operation at a time, and we know if we look at PEMDAS, that means we do our multiplication first before our addition. So we're going to do 6 times 7, which is 42, and then we still have 12 plus. So we're going to, that 6 times 7 becomes 42. We're going to bring that 12 plus down and write it on the next line. So now we have 12 plus 42, and our answer to that is 54. So 12 plus 42 is 54, and I'm going to circle our answer. So that's the answer to the expression 12 plus 6 times 7. So we do our multiplication first and then our addition. Another good example, this one involves subtraction and multiplication. We have 30 minus 12 times 2. So if we look at our PEMDAS, we know we need to do multiplication first. So 12 times 2 is 24. So write that 24 underneath. We still have our 30 minus. So we have 30 minus 24 is our expression. And our answer to that is 6. So again, we're using that PEMDAS to solve these expressions. Our next expression is quite a bit longer. You're going to write it underneath. And it says 4 plus 6 times 6, which is in parentheses, divided by 9. So if we look at that PEMDAS, we know the first thing it tells us to do is parentheses. So that's going to be our step 1. So if I look down at the next line, I know 6 times 6 is 36. So I'm going to bring that 4 plus down because I don't want to forget any of the expression. So I'm going to make sure I rewrite whatever needs to still be solved in the expression each time. So 4 plus 36, because 6 times 6 is 36, divided by 9. So I know I did my parentheses first. Now I don't have any exponents. I did the multiplication. That was within the parentheses. So next would be division. So it's 36 divided by 9 is 4. So this 36 divided by 9 becomes 4. And I have 4 plus 4 because I'm bringing that 4 plus down. And 4 plus 4 is 8. So again, I've solved that expression using the PEMDAS going in order. And the answer to this expression is 8. Now remember, sometimes they'll tell you evaluate the expression. This is what they're wanting you to do, evaluate the expression. The next expression I've chosen involves exponents. So 4 plus 9 squared, or 9 to the second power is how we would say that, divided by 3 times 2 minus 2. So we have a lot going on in this specific expression. We have addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, and we have exponents. So we want to refer back to that PEMDAS and see what do we need to do first. Well, we don't have any parentheses in this expression. The next thing it tells us is exponents. So I'm going to look at my exponent here, 9 squared, or 9 to the second power, and I know that means I need to take 9 times 9. Well, hopefully you're already thinking in your brain that 9 times 9 is 81. So I have 4 plus 81 divided by 3 times 2 minus 2. So I'm rewriting all of the expression that I haven't yet evaluated, and that 9 squared has become 81. So after exponents, the next thing it tells me is multiplication. Well, when I look at multiplication, I see that I have 3 times 2. And hopefully you've already thought in your mind, you know 3 times 2 is 6. Oh. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So we always go left to right. So when we're looking at this equation, after we've done our 9 times 9 is 81, and we have 4 plus 81 divided by 3 times 2 minus 2. On our PEMDAS, it says multiplication before division, but you're also working left to right. So if this division becomes before multiplication, you want to do this division first, this 81 divided by 3. So if you had a calculator, you would work it out that way, 81 divided by 3. Also, you could use the standard algorithm working it out, but this 81 divided by 3 would be the next step in this order of operations. So we're going to come down here. 81 divided by 3 is 27. So we have 4 plus 27 times 2 minus 2. So again, the reason we did the division before the multiplication is because when we work left to right, if that division comes first, we want to make sure we do that. So now we look and we see, okay, we have multiplication to do because we need to do 27 times 2. Our multiplication is going to come before our addition or our subtraction. So 27 times 2 is 54. So we would have 4 plus 54 minus 2. We also know that we want to do that addition first. So we would have 4 plus 54, which is 58. We still have our minus 2. 58 minus 2 is 56. So our answer to this order of operations is 56. So a couple things that are important to remember are just making sure you show the steps as you go and that you're rewriting the full equation as you're going. It should kind of look a little bit like a V because you're starting larger and getting smaller, and each time you're rewriting any of the expression or equation that you've not already solved. So that's why this minus 2, since it was the last thing we were solving, obviously is in every line until down here when we finally use it. The 4 plus, again, also all the way down. So you're rewriting each time. Now let's transition to Lesson 6 in your Eureka book. Lesson 6, the order of operations. Expressions with only addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division is what example 1 is. So we just kind of talked about this in our book, but it says what expressions are evaluated first, what operations are evaluated, or what operations, are evaluated first, and what operations are evaluated last. So think about what that answer would be from what we just learned in PEMDAS. Go back to your notes and answer that, and then come back and check your answers with the video.